Everything has changed.
We're still together, yet we're apart.
Being apart is tough. We're human. We're here to make connections, live together, learn together.
We at Blackpool and the Fylde College are virtually by your side.
As a Blackpool and the Fylde College student, you're never alone. While we're in lockdown, we're also helping unlock your potential, building futures.
And we're doing it together.
We are all growing together.
We used to talk about B&FC having a sense of community like no other large college in the UK, but in the weeks we've been apart, we've not only felt it, we've seen it.
We've always knew our students were remarkable, but you've exceeded our expectations. Students supporting the community, striving for excellence in exceptional environments.
Here in Blackpool, we live in an extraordinary place. That shore, the tower, our peers, our communities.
They make us who we are.
And it's because we're so fortunate that this new way of doing things is even more of a challenge. It makes you realise what great things we shared together.
The fun we had, the games we played, the work we did, the songs we sang.
And we'll sing again. While it might feel like forever, this situation is only temporary. We'll all be back together before you know it.
Learning new lessons, playing new games, singing new songs.
Because if there's one thing we've all learned, it's that we're better together.
Blackpool and the Fylde College. Ready when you are. Everything has changed.
We're still together, yet we're apart.
Being apart is tough. We're human. We're here to make connections, live together, learn together.
We at Blackpool and the Fylde College are virtually by your side.
As a Blackpool and the Fylde College student, you're never alone. While we're in lockdown, we're also helping unlock your potential, building futures.
And we're doing it together.
We are all growing together.
We used to talk about B&FC having a sense of community like no other large college in the UK, but in the weeks we've been apart, we've not only felt it, we've seen it.
We've always knew our students were remarkable, but you've exceeded our expectations. Students supporting the community, striving for excellence in exceptional environments.
Here in Blackpool, we live in an extraordinary place. That's sure. The Tower, our peers, our communities.
They make us who we are.
And it's because we're so fortunate that this new way of doing things is even more of a challenge. It makes you realise what great things we shared together.
The fun we had, the games we played, the work we did, the songs we sang.
And we'll sing again. While it might feel like forever, this situation is only temporary. We'll all be back together before you know it.
Learning new lessons, playing new games, singing new songs.
Because if there's one thing we've all learned, it's that we're better together.
Blackpool and the Fylde College. Ready when you are. Everything has changed.
We're still together, yet we're apart.
Being apart is tough. We're human. We're here to make connections, live together, learn together.
We at Blackpool and the Fylde College are virtually by your side.
As a Blackpool and the Fylde College student, you're never alone. While we're in lockdown, we're also helping unlock your potential, building futures.
And we're doing it together.
We are all growing together.
We used to talk about B&FC having a sense of community like no other large college in the UK, but in the weeks we've been apart, we've not only felt it, we've seen it.
We've always knew our students were remarkable, but you've exceeded our expectations. Students supporting the community, striving for excellence in exceptional environments.
Here in Blackpool, we live in an extraordinary place. That shore, the tower, our peers, our communities.
They make us who we are.
And it's because we're so fortunate that this new way of doing things is even more of a challenge. It makes you realise what great things we shared together.
The fun we had, the games we played, the work we did, the songs we sang.
And we'll sing again. While it might feel like forever, this situation is only temporary. We'll all be back together before you know it.
Learning new lessons, playing new games, singing new songs.
Because if there's one thing we've all learned, it's that we're better together.
Blackpool and the Fylde College. Ready when you are. Everything has changed.
We're still together, yet we're apart.
Being apart is tough. We're human. We're here to make connections, live together, learn together.
We at Blackpool and the Fylde College are virtually by your side.
As a Blackpool and the Fylde College student, you're never alone. While we're in lockdown, we're also helping unlock your potential, building futures.
And we're doing it together.
We are all growing together.
We used to talk about B&FC having a sense of community like no other large college in the UK, but in the weeks we've been apart, we've not only felt it, we've seen it.
We've always knew our students were remarkable, but you've exceeded our expectations. Students supporting the community, striving for excellence in exceptional environments.
Here in Blackpool, we live in an extraordinary place. That shore, the tower, our peers, our communities.
They make us who we are.
And it's because we're so fortunate that this new way of doing things is even more of a challenge. It makes you realise what great things we shared together.
The fun we had, the games we played, the work we did, the songs we sang.
And we'll sing again. While it might feel like forever, this situation is only temporary. We'll all be back together before you know it.
Learning new lessons, playing new games, singing new songs.
Because if there's one thing we've all learned, it's that we're better together.
Blackpool and Fard College. Ready when you are.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Big Blackpool Quiz. We're on week 6. How exciting is that? Week 6. So that means 6 weeks ago, if you don't know how the weeks work, or how my rambling works. 6 weeks ago we started this whole shabam, the Big Blackpool Quiz. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to do week 6 of the Big Blackpool Quiz. Obviously, you'll have seen the theme if you follow us on social media. If you don't, please do go follow us on social media. We post notifications on there daily. So if there's any competitions or new things coming out, or especially if you want to know the theme of the quiz, then make sure that you follow us on social media. Although I am very excited, though I'm a little bit giddy tonight because I'm excited to tell you what the theme for next week's quiz is. But we'll wait until the end for that, because, you know, we want to get through this one. This one deserves its special time. But yes, tonight I'm not drinking tea, I'm drinking water, so that's a change. But yes, I hope you've all been having a fabulous week. What have I been up to? Work. Yeah, and that's about it. And if you're a student with us at B&FC, you might be finishing soon, or you might have already finished. And if you have already finished, I hope that you're enjoying your time off before you eventually have to come back. So, the Big Blackpool Quiz. What is it? Hello to those who are in Blackpool watching this. Hello if you're from further away. Give us a wave. I can't see you, but I'm sure that you waved back. And if you're from UCLan, UClan SU gave us a cheeky shout out on their Twitter. So if you're from UClan, hello. Welcome to the quiz. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you joining in. Yes, so I'm Callum Morley. If you don't know, if you haven't watched the quiz before, I'm Callum Morley. I'm the Student Engagement Coordinator of the college. What I do is I handle the enrichment at the college and make sure that students are being engaged in different activities that isn't necessarily their studies, such as the Big Blackpool Quiz. How this came about, so we started with a campaign called the Show Kindness campaign, and what that was students wanting to show kindness, showing what acts of kindness that they're doing from their own homes, from their bedrooms, and plus, you know, when we all went into like proper lockdown, when everything was locked down and we weren't allowed out, we saw an online community start. I mean, it's silly to say that because I know that there's always been an online community through Facebook, Twitter and everything, but really a sense of togetherness online, people coming together to share a common goal, which was to make people feel better in lockdown, because it can be quite daunting, and we all know that. It's got to all of us at some point, but it was really, really nice to see people coming together and yeah, showing acts of solidarity, you know, working out. I did some workout videos last week. I have to say, at the start of lockdown, I broke my foot because, you know, we were allowed that 1 hour's exercise, so I decided to try the Couch to 5K app. I literally got a minute into running and I tripped over a pavement slab and broke my foot. So I was out of exercising for 6 weeks. But yeah, lots of people go to exercise. It's good for you, although just don't break your foot. And you know, people were cooking, people were knitting them little, or crocheting I should say, especially our HE president Amy, if she's watching, hello. We're knitting them little bands for the NHS staff, so they're not got their masks around their ears. They attach them to the little bands so they're not having their masks rub against their ears. But yeah, we've seen loads of acts of solidarity, and that's really where the Show Kindness campaign started, was us wanting to promote these random acts of kindness and promote being kind to one another during these unprecedented times. What ensued from that was, if you go to our website, the link is just down there. It's www.studentsunionblackpool.co.uk, and there's the Show Kindness Hub on there, and there's lots of different activities on there, not just for our students. If you don't come to the college, you can still go on there, tricks and tips for parents, things to get involved in, new things to try, a lot of free things on there that companies are offering during these unprecedented times that you can get involved with, some with official certification, such as British Sign Language. They're offering a free course at the moment if you do want to go over and have a look at that. There's lots of different activities, so make sure that you do head over to our website and yeah, have a look what's there and maybe get involved in something new to pass the boredom of us being at home. Although I know restrictions are lifting at the minute, but the majority of us will still be spending a lot of time at home, since not a lot of things are open and we're still wanting to socially distance from people. So, you know, there's a lot of things there that you can get involved in. But yes, from the Show Kindness Hub, I had meetings with the student union fortnightly, and they said, Callum, as the next add-on to the Show Kindness Hub, could we have a weekly quiz? And I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know how to do it, but I'll give it a go. So, you know, research, and here we are. Sixth weekend, history theme, many more quizzes planned for the next few weeks over summer, so we won't be stopping over summer, so you can still get involved, even if you've just broken up. We'll continue for the foreseeable, until, you know, I don't know, until I leave the college, maybe in 5-10 years time. Maybe that's when we'll stop the quiz. But yeah, that's really where the quiz came from. Now, I really want to just stress that there might be some technical difficulties. Every week there is, I say there's always technical difficulties. It was only in the first few weeks that there was technical difficulties, and then the rest of it has been silly mistakes, such as last week. I was playing all these tunes. I forgot to hide them all on my monitor, so when I brought it back up for the answers round, they all played at the same time. But I'm passing it off as a technical difficulty, not human error. But yes, there might be some technical difficulties, but if there are, please just bear with me and I'll try and sort it out as soon as possible. We might just go to a quick break if anything happens like that. There's no guests on tonight's quiz. In our first week, when we first launched this, we had a lot of guests on, people from Blackpool, businesses and heads, people that people know from Blackpool. If you're watching from somewhere where you're not in Blackpool, that's fine. I don't ask a lot of Blackpool questions. That was only in the first week. And which, bearing in mind, if you do miss 1 week's quiz, you can go back and go to our YouTube channel, and there's a playlist of all our quizzes. So if you have missed one week, don't worry, they're still there. They will always be there, so you can go and click on them and just do them in your own time. But please do try and join us on Wednesday, because it's nice to have this live interaction. But yes, you can suggest a theme for our quiz. Anyone can suggest a theme. You just go to our website. It's www.studentsunionblackpool.co.uk. Go to the BB Quiz tab, or you'll see like the graphics for Big Blackpool Quiz. You know, our logo's over there. Click on that, and at the bottom you can suggest a theme. Please do go suggest a theme, because that's what keeps these quizzes so exciting, is I get to research a hell of a lot of different things. History, I should be good at it because I did a GCSE in it, but I'm really not good at it. But it's been nice to go and have a look back in the decades of what's happened and whatnot. How to play: grab a bit of pen and paper. You can play with your friends and family. Give them a Skype call, or if they're bubble, why not invite them over and play? That'd be nice. Don't Google the answers. You're only cheating yourself if you Google the answers, so don't do it. There's no prizes for the quiz. This is just some good old-fashioned fun. There is 65 points in this quiz. 5 rounds and 1 bonus question, which is worth 5 points. But yeah, without further ado, I've talked for 10 minutes straight, and you're probably sick of listening to me, but you're going to listen to me for another 45 minutes while I read the questions. But let's get on with week 6 of the Big Blackpool Quiz. Gone down in history is the theme, and here we are with the questions. Are you ready? So, 5 different rounds. I'll announce what the round is. I'll say the question twice, then you'll get 10 seconds to answer the question. We'll have a bit of a break after the 5th round, then I'll come back and give you the answers. So here we go. Round 1. What's it going to be? Round 1 is up-to-date general knowledge. So this is all things that have happened since like the year 2000 onwards. And here is the first question. Question 1. Which former prince is married to Meghan Markle? Question 1. Which former prince is married to Meghan Markle? 10 seconds on the clock. Question 2. The 2012 Summer Olympics were held in which country? Question 2 is the 2012 Summer Olympics were held in which country? 10 seconds on the clock. Where were they held? Question 3. Prior to the Brexit referendum, Theresa May campaigned to leave the EU. True or false? Question 3. Prior to the Brexit referendum, Theresa May campaigned to leave the EU. True or false? 10 seconds on the clock. I don't think you need 10 seconds for this one. It's true or false. It's 50-50. If you don't know, have a guess. You should know. So it was only a few years ago, although it feels like yesterday. Question 4. Who was elected the President of Russia in March 2004? Question 4. Who was elected the President of Russia in March 2004? 10 seconds on the clock. Question 5. In 2015, liquid water was found on which planet in our solar system? Question 5. In 2015, liquid water was found on which planet in our solar system? 10 seconds on the clock. I almost said 20 seconds there. We're halfway through round 1. You know, when you think of history, you might think Tudors and everything. Don't worry, them questions will come up. But anything in the past is history, isn't it? Question 6. In what year was the first ever same-sex marriage in the UK? I should say held there. Question 6. In what year was the first ever same-sex marriage held in the UK? Five, 4, 3, 2, and question 7. Who was the UK's first black female MP? Question 7. Who was the UK's first black female MP? Pardon me, sorry, 10 seconds on the clock. Question 8. What date did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a global pandemic? What date did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a global pandemic? Now I do want, because it's only been a few months ago, I'll tell you that much, but I do want the date. The day it happened, the month it happened, and the year it happened. I mean, I'll give you the year. It's 2020. There you go. A little hint. But yes, the actual day, the actual month, and the year 2020. Question 9. Pope Francis is the most recent pope for the Catholic faith. How many popes have there been in total? Question 9. Pope Francis is the most recent pope for the Catholic faith. How many popes have there been in total? 10 seconds on the clock. I have one question left of round 1. We're flying through these. It's that 10-second timer. You've only got yourselves to blame for that. Question 10. In the year 2000, who switched on the Blackpool illuminations? In the year 2000, who switched on the Blackpool illuminations? 10 seconds on the clock. Oh look, 10 questions in and I've been proven a liar. I said to those who might be watching from somewhere else that there wouldn't be any Blackpool questions. Oh well, I lied. Too bad. Okay. Now we're going to move on to round 2. There's 10 questions. What is round 2 going to be, please? It's a picture round. And it says children's shows, and that is totally false. It is totally false. My apologies. It is actually children's toys. My apologies there. It's children's toys, not children's shows. If you're watching, I'm going to show you a children's toy. You've got to tell me the name of that toy or the brand of toys. And you have to tell me what year it was created. Simple? I think so. So children's toys, not children's shows. I'm going to show you the children's toy. You've got to tell me the name of the toy and tell me the year that it was released. Okay? And here we go with number 1. 10 seconds on the clock. What is that? No, seriously, what is that? I do not know. I'm lying. I made the quiz. History. History of toys. There's history behind anything. What's that? I do know what that is. I had several of these. And I remember they even came out with a backpack for them. And I had the backpack. You best believe I did wear it out as well. What's that? 10 seconds on the clock. I had several of these. I think I had every single one of them for years. So one of my favourite toys. But what is the name of the toy and what year was it released? Here's the next one. And the next one. Oh, here's a whole collection of them. They're all known as something. So tell me the name of what they're all known by, and then tell me what year they were released. And this, blast from the past. I'll tell you, I've got an updated one over there. Yeah, I never had one of these. Be interesting to go back and try and play on that now. Oh, what is this? I can tell you, all my girlfriends had these, and I was so jealous. This. Now, this is actually, I believe it was developed in America. They are quite famous. I don't know if they were in the UK. But yeah. It's a soldier. Here we are. I believe it was these little guys that inspired a movie. Well, 2 movies that have come out. One of them being quite recent. The sequel to the first. And here's a hard one. I'll wait a little bit so you can just stare at this and be, Callum, that's not a kid's toy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is. I said that everything has history. Toys have history, and this is not one of the oldest toys, but it is a very, very old toy. So can you tell me the name of what it is, and can you tell me the year that it was released? So yeah, I do my research. I bet when everyone saw that we were going to be doing history this week, they were like, ugh. I try and keep it fun as possible. But that is the last one of round 2. Round 3, it is going to be, famous speeches round. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to play you a snippet of a famous speech. You have to tell me who it is. Who's talking, who's doing the speech. Okay, they're very, very famous speeches. You might be able to recognise some of their voices. But like last week, I'll play them and I will hide them so when we come back to the answers, we're not all playing all the quotes at once. But yes, we'll go to speech 1. Let me just move myself over here. Hello. You get a bigger... you got a bigger me. Hi. But yeah, are we ready? Speech 1. Here we go.
They said I was weird. That my look, my choices, my sound, that it wouldn't work. But music told me not to listen to them.
And I'll play it again. I'll play these twice.
They said I was weird. That my look, my choices, my sound, that it wouldn't work. But music told me not to listen to them.
Okay, that was number 1. 10 seconds on the clock. Who was that? Do you know? Anyway, speech number 2.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
That was number 2. We'll play number 2 again.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Oh, Well, a 10-second timer timed out there, so you got a few extra seconds to figure it out. Speech number 3. Who said this?
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
And again?
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
10 seconds on the clock. So remember, you're just saying the name, well, you're just writing down the name of who said these speeches.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches.
That was a short one. Here it is again.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches.
10 seconds. Very famous one. Well, most of these are very, very famous. And if you haven't heard them, you should go and listen to them and find out the context behind them. But here we are with number 5. Who said this?
And I said to her, I said, do you see me growing my hair? She said, no, Mama. I said, do you see me changing my body? No, Mama. Do you see me changing the way I present myself to the world? No, Mama. Do you see me selling out arenas all over the world? Yes, Mama.
And again?
And I said to her, I said, do you see me growing my hair? She said, no, Mama. I said, do you see me changing my body? No, Mama. Do you see me changing the way I present myself to the world? No, Mama. Do you see me selling out arenas all over the world? Yes, Mama.
You know, just remember that not everyone who gives a speech has to be a politician to get involved in activism and change. It could be anyone. So not all of these are politicians. Some of these are activists and different celebrities. So there you go. 10 seconds on the clock. Everyone can use their voice for change. At least that's what I tried to instill in everyone when I was head of the union. But here is speech number 6.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
And number 6 again.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
And 10 seconds on the clock. Who said that? About going to the moon. That's speech number 6. We're more than halfway through now. Here's number 7.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
That was a very short one.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
Oh. Sorry, I'll just give you a few more seconds. The timer doesn't like me. Doesn't like me pressing buttons. But here we are with speech number 8. Who said this?
I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons will live together in harmony.
And here it is again.
I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons will live together in harmony.
And we have 10 seconds on the clock. And speech number 9. Who said this?
All of us children who are still at home think continually of our friends and relations who have gone overseas.
And again.
All of us children who are still at home think continually of our friends and relations who have gone overseas.
And here we are with 10 seconds on the clock. Who is that? Very young sounding. But yes, quite a famous speech. And the last one of this round, round 3, who said this?
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible.
And again?
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible.
Who said that? 10 seconds on the clock. That one's quite famous and it's been used for a variety of different performances, but I definitely remember being on Britain's Got Talent and a dance act used it. But there we are, we're at the end of round 3 and we're moving on to round 4. Let me just shift myself back into the corner over here. Hi. Small me now. But yes, let's go on with the rounds. We're on round 4. We've got another picture round. Why? Because I'm uninventive, unimaginative. So we've got another picture round and you've got to guess the historical movie. So I'm going to show you 10 different movie posters, all with historical context. And you've got to tell me the name of the movie. There's no bonus points for this one. You've just got to tell me the name of the movie. Excuse me. I know you're probably thinking, when are you actually going to get to some historical questions? Well, don't worry. Round 5, the ultra general knowledge round. I've got them lined up. I've got them lined up for you. We'll see if you get any of them right. But here we are with round 4. 10 seconds on each. Here is number 1. What is the name of this film? Very easy, this one. You know, all my rounds get progressively harder, with the 5th round being the hardest. And number 2. 10 seconds on the clock. And the next one. 10 seconds on the clock. We'll be flying through these. We'll get to round 5. We'll have a quick 5-minute break. Don't forget, these quizzes are for NHS charities together, so you can go donate through our website. And the next one. The link is on our website, www.studentsunionblackpool.co.uk. If you click on it and go to BB Quiz, there's a link on there to our Just Giving page where you can donate money and it'll go straight to the NHS. And rather than coming through the college, it'll go straight to them through Just Giving. And the next one. 10 seconds. And the next one. 10 seconds on the clock. This one's quite recent. I've seen this. I wanted to go to the cinema to see it, but I didn't end up going to the cinema. But yeah, good film. Not good, not bad, just good. And this one. Might be a few of you that know this one. Might be a few that don't know this one. When I wanted to do the theme of history, then the next one. Yeah, when I wanted to do the theme of history, I wanted to try and encapsulate lots of different people's history. Try and make it as even as possible and see what everyone knows. And the next one. Who's this? Well, not who is it. What's the movie called? We know who it is. It's Natalie Portman. Could have got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. And the next one. I believe this is the last one for round 4, and then we'll move on to round 5. And the bonus question. Can't forget the bonus question. It's worth 5 points. So yes, round 5. It's ultra general knowledge. So these are very hard questions. You've been wanting to know, when is the Tudors going to come up? Tudors. I don't know why I keep saying Tudors. It's the one that I keep going to. But yeah, one of the Tudors going to show up. When are you actually going to give us some history questions? So here you are. I hope you don't regret wondering where the actual history questions are, because they're here. So here we go. Round 5, Ultra General Knowledge. We'll have the bonus question, and then we'll have a bit of a break. Okay? But here we are. Round 5, question 1. Question 1. Who was Henry VIII's last wife? Question 1. Who was Henry VIII's last wife? 10 seconds on the clock. And now we're ex-wives. Do, 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 do. Question 2. Which country was the first to give women the right to vote in 1893? Question 2. Which country was the first to give women the right to vote in 1893? 10 seconds on the clock. Told you this round is hard. And it'll only get worse. Question 3. Which popular fast food chain restaurant was first opened in 1955? 10 seconds on the clock. Oh, sorry. No, I'll read it again. Which popular fast food chain restaurant was first opened in 1955? We almost skipped me reading it twice. 10 seconds on the clock. Don't forget, in the break, go grab yourself a drink, some food or whatnot, some snacks. It's late on in the day. It's night time. Go grab yourself a snack. Hot chocolate. Question 4. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and blank. Who was the third astronaut involved in the Apollo 11 mission that landed on the moon? So out of all them names that are listed there, who was the third astronaut involved in the Apollo 11 mission that landed on the moon? 10 seconds on the clock. You know, that's if you believe someone landed on the moon. Conspiracy? No, I do believe it. Question 5. What colour were the pyramids at Giza originally? Question 5. What colour were the pyramids at Giza originally? Pardon me. Question 6. As recently dramatised in a critically acclaimed miniseries, what year did the Chernobyl disaster occur? Question 6. As recently dramatised in a critically acclaimed miniseries, what year did the Chernobyl disaster occur? 10 seconds on the clock. If you haven't seen Chernobyl, and you're of an age where, you know, you can appreciate it and not get freaked out by things easily, do go watch it. It's absolutely amazing. Incredible. Very heartbreaking though. I cried. It doesn't take a lot for me to cry though. So question 7. Who discovered the wreckage of the Titanic? Question 7. Who discovered the wreckage of the Titanic? 10 seconds on the clock. See, these questions could have been made easy. I could have said, which famous boat sank? That's not the question. It's who discovered the wreckage of the Titanic. Can you answer it? Question 8. Who discovered penicillin? Question 8. Who discovered penicillin? 10 seconds on the clock. And you will be wrong if you put Mr. Penicillin. It's not Mr. Penicillin. Question 9. Which real-life American frontiersman did Leonardo DiCaprio portray in The Revenant? Question 9. Which real-life American frontiersman did Leonardo DiCaprio portray in The Revenant? 10 seconds on the clock. Who did he play? We're one question off. The bonus question, and then we have a 5-minute break. And question 10. Who was the only one of Henry VIII's wives to receive a queen's funeral? Question 10. Who was the only one of Henry VIII's wives to receive a Queen's funeral? 10 seconds on the clock. You might be saying, oh, Callum, you've done 2 Henry VIII's eighth questions there, and there is a reason, and you'll see it in the answers. I think I'm brilliant for thinking of it, but yeah. That was the last question of round 5, and we're here with the bonus question. Woo! It is worth 5 points. And so there's 65 points in total because you've got the bonus points in round 2 for the picture round, and then you've got 5 points here, so 65 points in total. So get this one right, you'll win 5 points. So we'll do the question, and the question is, what is the bonus question this week? Who famously duelled Alexander Hamilton on 11th of July 1804? Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I don't think you can say that name any other way. So I think something's happening on Friday in particular to this. I just couldn't put my finger on why that name sounds familiar, but I'm pretty sure it sounds familiar because something's happening on Friday. And I've got the day off work, so I don't have to wait till after 5 o'clock to find out. But yes, that is the bonus question. Callum, stop rambling. Who famously duelled Alexander Hamilton on the 11th of July, 1804? We're going to take a 5-minute break now. I'll be back in 5 minutes. But, you know, as I've said for the past 2 weeks, using this time, you might be watching this with people around you. Take time for your own mental health. Make sure that you're mentally healthy. So if there's people around you, you know, you can ask them how they are. See what they've been doing throughout their day. Or if you want something to talk about, how about each of you go around the room, or if you're on your own, why don't you just message someone and ask, what is your favourite bit of history? What's your favourite bit of history? It might be like me, never having to do it again after my GCSEs. But no, my favourite bit of history, let's go. I like mythology. So my favourite myth, it's a Greek myth, and it's the myth of Medusa. That's history. That's my history. That's my favourite bit of history, is the story of Medusa. But yeah, what's your favourite history? Go around the room and ask. But yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Go grab yourself a snack. Go grab yourself a drink. I'll be back with the answer in 5 minutes. Answers in 5 minutes. But until then, have a good 5 minutes. That went wrong. Have a good 5 minutes.
Everything has changed.
We're still together, yet we're apart.
Being apart is tough. We're human. We're here to make connections, live together, learn together.
We at Blackpool and the Fylde College are virtually by your side.
As a Blackpool and the Fylde College student, you're never alone. While we're in lockdown, we're also helping unlock your potential, building futures.
And we're doing it together.
We are all growing together.
We used to talk about B&FC having a sense of community like no other large college in the UK, but in the weeks we've been apart, we've not only felt it, we've seen it.
We've always knew our students were remarkable, but you've exceeded our expectations. Students supporting the community, striving for excellence in exceptional environments.
Here in Blackpool, we live in an extraordinary place. That shore, the tower, our peers, our communities.
They make us who we are.
And it's because we're so fortunate that this new way of doing things is even more of a challenge. It makes you realise what great things we shared together.
The fun we had, the games we played, the work we did, the songs we sang.
And we'll sing again. While it might feel like forever, this situation is only temporary. We'll all be back together before you know it.
Learning new lessons, playing new games, singing new songs.
Because if there's one thing we've all learned, it's that we're better together.
Blackpool and the Fylde College. Ready when you are.
That's right. Corporation Board election is up and running for this week for all B&FC students to go and vote. You can go and do it after the quiz. Don't do it now. Go do it after the quiz. You go to our website www.studentsunionblackpool.co.uk and you'll be electing a student representative to be on the Blackpool and Fylde College Corporation Board, who will be helping to set the strategic direction for the college. Now try saying that 10 times. But yes, if you are a Blackpool and Fylde College student, make sure that you do go and vote. The vote closes this Friday at 4 o'clock, and then we'll find out who our next student representative is. Hello, and welcome back. I suppose you want something from me, and I guess it's the answers. I hope you've enjoyed your break. I hope you've enjoyed your little catch-up with your families if you've been talking to someone, or if you've been sending someone a text. And talking over that. I hope you've enjoyed that. Make sure that you are doing that. It's important that we connect with one another right now. especially in these trying times where we might not be able to see each other all the time as we used to. But yes, we are going to move on with the answers. So I will read all the answers for you, clearly. After every round, I'll give you a little bit of time to tally up all the ones that you got right. So when we get to the end, you can tally them all up in total, and make sure that you do leave me a comment with how many you got right. I'd really like to know. I know some of you might have found this particular quiz hard, but don't worry, not every week is History Week, and we do have some easier ones, and I will be telling you the theme of next week as well as some exciting news on what's going to be happening for next week's quiz. It's very exciting. I'm very excited to do next week's. But this week, we're going to get on with the rest of these answers. So here we are with the answers. Here we go. So, round one, up-to-date knowledge, general knowledge. Have you got your pen and paper? Have you got all your questions? Because I'm about to give you the actual answers. So, question 1. Which former prince is married to Meghan Markle? The answer? Prince Harry. And question 2. The 2012 Summer Olympics were held in which country? Well, if you weren't hiding under a rock, they actually happened in this country, the United Kingdom. Question 3. Prior to the Brexit referendum, Theresa May campaigned to leave the EU. Is this true or false? This is actually false. Theresa May campaigned to remain in the EU before becoming Prime Minister shortly after David Cameron left after the Brexit referendum happened. But she did campaign to stay within the EU. Question 4. Who was elected the President of Russia in March 2004? It is none other than Vladimir Putin, who is the current president as well. He's been elected 4 times. But there you are. Question 5. In 2015, liquid water was found on which planet in our solar system? It was none other than Mars. Just making sure that my mic's on. Question 6. In what year was the first ever same-sex marriage in the UK? And it was 2014. It was legalised in 2013 and came into force in 2014, with the first marriage happening in March 2014, I believe. And then I think Ireland just got same-sex marriage rights last year. So there you go. Question 7. Who was the UK's first black female MP? It is Diane Abbott from the Labour Party. Question 8. What date did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a global pandemic? Now, you'd need to get the full thing right to get the point. Don't get half of it right and give yourself half a point. That's not how it works. But it was the 30th of January 2020. I've forgotten how to speak. I've been in meetings all day. My tongue's a bit tired. Anyway, question 9. Pope Francis is the most recent pope for the Catholic faith. How many popes have there been in total? And the answer, 266. And question 10. In the year 2000, who switched on the Blackpool illuminations? And it was Westlife. So that was the last question of this. Well, that was the last answer of this round. So tally up your scores and see how many you've got. I don't know. Was it Westlife that sang "Been to the year 3000"? Oh, it's 3000, not 2000. Anyway, never mind. That was silly. But I don't think it was Westlife either, so doubly silly. Anyway, we're moving swiftly on to round 2. I'm going to forget about that. And round 2 was a picture round, and it was children's toys. Look, that magically just corrected itself during the break. Look at that. Technical difficulties, definitely not human error at all. And there was bonus points for this round. So I showed you a picture of some toys. You had to tell me the name of the toy, and then you had to tell me the year that it was released. So round 2. Here we go. What are these? These are Hatchimals, and they came out in 2016. And I do know what they are. I was lying when I said the questions because it was very annoying because every parent on Facebook was asking, where do I get one of these? Because the stores have sold out and my child wants one and it will ruin Christmas if they don't get one. I'm sure I will know that feeling when I become a parent. But to me, it's like, just tell them they ain't getting one. They'll get over it. One of these, as I said, I had one of these and I had the backpack to go with it. And it is a Furby and they came out in 1998. If you got Furby, if you got 1998, give yourself 2 points. If you only got one right, give yourself 1 point. And you don't have to get the original answer right. You don't have to get the name of the toy right to be able to get the bonus point. You can hit either or. So here's number 2. Do you know what this is? This is a Tamagotchi and it was released in 1996. The year of my birth. Believe it or not, 1996. Just a wee bin. But yeah, I had loads of these and I had them all on one keychain and I could keep none of them alive because I just couldn't focus. What is this? You will all know it as a Bop-It. Yes, the original Bop-It only had 3 features. You had Twist It, Pull It and Bop It. Where the question mark is, it says Bop-It. And that came out in 1996 again. And these, do you know what these are? These are Beanie Babies and they came out in 1993. And I had much fun putting this round together because it was very, very nostalgic vibes for me. Because if you have a look on the picture, there's a little ghost and his name is Sheets. And I had a Sheets Beanie Baby when I was younger. Anyway, next one. What is this? It is a Nintendo Game Boy and that came out in 1989. The young people in the room might be like, I don't know what that is. And yeah, you won't know what it is. This is what a Nintendo Switch used to look like. Fair? But yes. And the next one. Oh, this one made me so jealous of all my girlfriends. This is a Polly Pocket and they came out in 1989. And I believe this was designed by a Swedish art designer who designed this originally in a woman's compact for his daughter, and then the toy company had a look at it and they wanted to mass produce it, and that's how Polly Pocket came around. So there you go. What is this? I think it's an American toy. I'm pretty sure it came over to the UK though, but it's G.I. Joe and he came out in 1964. G.I. Joe. Surprisingly, I never had one of these. But no. That is a G.I. Joe. What are these? I said you could relate this to a film. The big long hair. It's none other than a troll doll. And they came out in 1959. Troll dolls, troll doll. But yes, all of you little young ones who have watched Trolls, this is what they actually look like. Not the, I mean, they are cute, but they're still very ugly, aren't they? But yeah. And what was this? I'd be surprised if anyone got this right, unless you're a very big history buff, and I am not a big history buff, so don't think that I'm intelligent by knowing this. I just researched the answer. But this is a Victorian toy, and it is a praxinoscope. If you got praxinoscope, give yourself a point. And they were released originally in 1877. The praxinoscope, what you would do is it's a circular device. It looks like a roulette wheel, and you'd spin it, and as it spins, it would show an animated image. And it was a children's toy back in the Victorian days. But there you go. That is the end of round 2. Tally up your answers. Add them up with round 1's answers. Then we'll move on to round 3, which was quotes round, and I won't play them all at once. I'll play them all once, and then I'll tell you the answer. But yes, without further ado, let's go to round 3. And here we are with speech one. Who said
They
this?
said I was weird. That my look, my choices, my sound, that it wouldn't work. But music told me not to listen to them.
Who said that? Well, if you know me by now, you know I try and involve this person in every single quiz. That was none other than Lady Gaga, who has a new album. Listen to it on iTunes or Spotify now. And no, this isn't sponsored. I'm just a very big fan. But yeah, speech one was by Lady Gaga.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Speech two was by Martin Luther King Jr. Speech three.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
That was speech three, and it was by Greta Thunberg. I believe she said that at the UN conference talking about global warming. Speech four.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches.
That is Winston Churchill. Speech number five.
And I said to her, I said, do you see me growing my hair? She said, no, Mama. I said, do you see me changing my body? No, Mama. Do you see me changing the way I present myself to the world? No, Mama. Do you see me selling out arenas all over the world? Yes, Mama.
And that was Pink at the VMAs talking about how her daughter said she didn't like herself and said that she looked like a boy and she got picked on for being a boy, and that was her response. But yeah, speech number six.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
That is none other than John F. Kennedy before, with America pledging that they would get to the moon first, ahead of Russia. Yes, speech number seven.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
That was none other than Michelle Obama. You've got Michelle Obama, give yourself a point. Speech number 8.
I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons will live together in harmony.
That was number 8, and it was Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, give yourself a point. Speech number 9.
All of us children who are still at home think continually of our friends and relations who have gone overseas.
Now, this one might astonish some people, but some people might put 2 and 2 together. This is none other than Queen Elizabeth II, who was speaking on Children's Hour during the World War, giving a speech as a young child, as a wee lass. To all the children who had to go and live in the countryside due to the bombings in London. But speech number 9 was by Queen Elizabeth II, although back then she was Princess Elizabeth. And speech number 10.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible.
And speech number 10 was by Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin, for the younger audience viewers, was a silent film comedian star. He did these silent films. And before TV had sound and colour and things, we had black and white silent films where they'd play music because they couldn't capture the audio of people. And I believe what originally used to happen was they'd do the black and white films, and then they used to have a pianist in the theatres that would play the piano. And why this was so astonishing that this speech was by Charlie Chaplin, because this is probably one of the first times that people had heard this great comedian speak, and it was a very powerful and empowering speech, and that's why a lot of performers use it in their performances. If you haven't heard it in full, I do recommend going and listening to it. It can be quite emotive, and you can see why it's still a big speech that people still think of when they think of big speeches. But yeah, that's the end of round 3. So tally up your answers, tally them up with round 2 and round 1. As I say, make it easy when we get to round 5. But I'm gonna move on back over there, make myself a little bit smaller, and we'll move on to round 4. Round 4 was a picture round, and it was guess the historical movie. Now, you might have seen some of these movie posters and been like, that's not accurate. And I'm like, I didn't say that they were accurate. I said that they were based on history. Excuse me. Pardon me. So yeah, I said that they were based on history, not that they were entirely historically accurate. But the first one, number 1, who is this? What is the name of this movie? It's Titanic. If you got Titanic, give yourself a point. Number 2, what is this movie? It is 12 Years a Slave. Number 3, this is the famous beard, the famous hair. It's none other than Lincoln, President Lincoln. This one, and it is Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks and all the other people. This one, again, not historically accurate, but it is Gladiator. This thing with all historical films, you can call in whether they're all historically accurate. Very little are. This one, again, Mary Queen of Scots. This is one that is not historically accurate. Most of it is, but most of it isn't. Very half and half. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it. Good film. Not bad, just good. This one, as I said, quite a few people might not have seen this, but this is by this is not by, the name of it is Milk. It's about Harvey Milk, who fought for gay rights in America. Again, good film, go watch it. This one, very emotive. Went to see this at the cinema, cried. Brilliant, stunning, innovative, never been done before. Quote by Lady Gaga. But this film is called Dunkirk. If you haven't seen this film, go watch it. And if you have surround sound, stick on that surround sound, turn the lights off, and just lose yourself in the absolute brilliantness of this film. I think that's the last one. Oh no, we're not in the last one yet. Natalie Portman, and she starred in the film called Jackie. If you got Jackie, give yourself a point. I haven't seen this, but yeah, Jackie Kennedy, based on her story and her husband. Very sad story. Assassination of her husband. This is the last one, and this is none other than Schindler's List, one on my watch list. I haven't watched it yet. I know, slap on the hand. Need to go watch it. Again, one of those very emotive stories. I think I know the story, but I just haven't seen it. But that's the last one for round 4, so tally up your points. Add them with the last few rounds. And, you know, if you think, I need to watch some of these movies, you know, after the quizzes are uploaded to YouTube, they'll stay there forever, no matter if I want to take them down in 10 years time. But you know, you can go back through and you can see what films that have been on the quizzes, and you can go watch them in your own time. I know Netflix is getting boring and you might want some recommended. Here's my recommended. But without further ado, we'll go to round 5, which was Ultra General Knowledge. They're very hard questions. 10 questions left to go, with the bonus question that's worth 5 points. Let's get through this. So, question 1, who was Henry VIII's last wife? And you might have noticed me singing, that's because I'm singing from a musical called Six. And the answer is Catherine Parr. If you know Six the musical, then you would have known that's Catherine Parr, because you can just sing through the entire song. But anyway, question 2. Which country was the first to give women the right to vote in 1893? And it was none other than New Zealand. Very good country. Question 3. Which popular fast food chain restaurant was first opened in 1955? Well, you could guess this, but it is McDonald's, which have just reopened. Question 4. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and blank. Who was the third astronaut involved in the Apollo 11 mission that landed on the moon? And it was Michael Collins. And if you got Michael Collins, give yourself a point. Question 5. What colour were the pyramids of Giza originally? They were white. Question 6. As recently dramatised in the critically acclaimed miniseries, what year did the Chernobyl disaster occur? 1986. Can't stress enough, if you haven't seen it and you're over age, do go watch it. Absolutely brilliant series. It is gory, so there's a full disclaimer. If you've got young kids, don't let them watch it. But if you are an adult, I would totally recommend going and watching the Chernobyl miniseries that came out quite recently, last year. Question 7. Who discovered the wreckage of the Titanic? It was Robert Ballard. Question 8. Who discovered penicillin? It was Alexander Fleming. See, it wasn't Mr. Penicillin. I did say. Question 9. Which real-life American frontiersman did Leonardo DiCaprio portray in The Revenant? And it was Hugh Glass. And who was the only one of Henry VIII's wives to receive a funeral? A Queen's funeral. And it was Jane Seymour, the only one he truly loved. Rude. No one got that reference. It's okay. Some of you might have got it. It might give you a little bit of a hint as to what next week's theme is going to be. But yeah, tally up your points. We're going to go to the bonus question, which is worth 5 points. You've only got 5 extra points to gain. But yeah, as I said, don't forget to comment with your with how many you got right of this quiz. Make sure that you do comment it. I do like to see how many you've got right. It gives me a little bit of an indicator as to how hard I should make next week's quiz. But yes, the bonus question. The bonus question was, who famously duelled Alexander Hamilton on 11th July 1804? And it was Aaron Burr. If you got Aaron Burr, give yourself 5 extra points, 65 points in total. Tally them all up now and leave them in the comment section below, because I would like to know how many you got right. So before I head off, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's continuously watching these quizzes every week. I hope that you are enjoying them. But if you have any ideas of what we can do to make it better, or if you want to suggest a theme, head to the website www.studentsunionblackpool.co.uk and suggest a theme by clicking on the BB Quiz tab. If you can donate anything to NHS Charities Together, please do so. You can go through our page and give it to through our Just Giving page. None of the money comes to the college, it goes straight through Just Giving to NHS Charities Together. But we will be back next week, and the theme, you might have got the little hints that I've been thrown throughout this quiz, and there's a reason why I'm so giddy, and it's because next week's theme is going to be based, and some people might go, but there will be something in there for everyone. But it is going to be musical theatre. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. That's from The Greatest Showman. I've never seen it. There you go. Hamilton is on Disney Plus on Friday, so make sure that you go and watch that, because I might ask a few Hamilton questions. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I know what's definitely going to happen is exciting. Next week we will be having some guests on the quiz, and they will be some Blackpool and the Fylde College alumni from the Blackpool School of Arts who did the musical theatre degree, some of my very close friends, because I did the musical theatre degree at the college as well, including a very special guest who is alumni of the college and who has made a big name for herself in the musical theatre world. We will be welcoming Jodie Prenger onto the quiz next week. So make sure that you do tune in next week for our theme of musical theatre. But I hope that you've enjoyed this week. Make sure that you do leave your answers in the comment section below. But I will see you next week. But until then, have a fabulous week. Wednesday 8 PM. See you next week. Bye.